All right, nerds. Welcome back to the regularly scheduled streaming time. It has been some time. I honestly did not get to double check the new setup for gaming, so the second half of tonight's stream may or may not actually happen. But we are here at the very least to discuss the news. So, all of that being said, let's do just that. I don't think there's any housekeeping to speak of necessarily, but if something comes to me, I'm sure we'll talk about it. We actually have quite a bit of stuff to get to tonight, so I think we're just gonna jump right in. So let's change into this, and then let's do the thing. All right, so we're gonna start with. We're gonna get to this in just a minute, but let's. I was curious about this. Let's check. Let's see what Steven Dorff has to say about the modern Marvel movies, because he's so relevant in the conversation. Those that don't know, Steven Dorff was a 90s movie icon, and I believe did stuff in the 80s as well, and hasn't really done much since. He was the big bad of the first Blade movie. So this, according to cosmicbook.news, Steven Dorff, known for starring in the first Blade movie, is back at it and takes major jabs at Marvel, as well as Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam. The actor who played Deacon Frost in Wesley Snipes' Marvel vampire flick blasted Marvel's Black Widow movie in 2021. That's right, that was the last time we talked about him, because, when you're ripping on stuff because you're jealous you can't be part of it, that's quasi-newsworthy. It looks like garbage, and he said was embarrassed for Scarlett Johansson. Now he's talking with the Daily Beast. Steven Dorff compares Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam to worthless garbage, and also says Marvel's Blade reboot is trash. How would he know? Has he seen it yet? Just because he was in the first one doesn't give him automatic say in the reboot. He hasn't seen it, just like we haven't seen it. While talking about his new movie, Divinity, and the film's director, Eddie Alcazar, Dorff thinks DC and other companies should be looking in that direction, as that is the future. Quote, not making Black Adam and worthless garbage over and over again, unquote. Steven Dorff is also asked about trying other genres besides comedy, where he talks about comic book movies and offers they haven't been any good since the original Blade and Christopher Nolan's Batman Dark Knight trilogy, and again mentions Black Adam as well as Marvel making all the money. If comic book movies were more like when I started when we made Blade, or the few that have been decent over the years, like when Nolan did The Dark Knight and reinvented Batman from Tim Burton. Good Lord, this sounds like he's only seen the big ones, because there were a couple other Tim Burton movies, or a couple other Batman movies that weren't Tim Burton. And continuing, who's obviously a genius, when they were interesting, like when Norrington did Blade and Guillermo del Toro was effing around in it. I guess he's still saying that the Guillermo del Toro one was good. Maybe. Dorff continues, but all this other garbage is just embarrassing. You know what I mean? God bless them. They're making a bunch of money, but their movies suck. And nobody's going to remember them. Nobody's remembering Black Adam at the end of the day. I don't even see that movie. I didn't even see that movie. It looked so bad. Because he's done so much quality work recently. Steven Dorff is also well aware of all the problems Marvel's having with the Blade reboot. Starring Oscar winner Mahershala Ali, as the flick recently lost its director, but has since gotten a new director and writer. Quote, Marvel is used to me trashing them anyway. How's that PG Blade moving for you that can't get a director? Questions Dorff. Because anybody who goes there is going to be laughed at by everybody, because we already did it and made it the best. There's no Steve Norrington out there. What a... Somebody's jealous he's not getting that Marvel money. That's what that sounds like right there, because, yeah. That's cool. Last of Us renewed for a second season. Let's get into this one. Following episode 1 and 2 having sky-high ratings, HBO wastes no time and renews Last of Us for season 2. Series co-creators Craig Mazin, award-winning director of HBO's Chernobyl, and Neil Druckmann, creator and writer of the award-winning Last of Us franchise and Naughty Dog co-president, marks HBO's now it's the second largest debut, behind House of the Dragon. Episode 1 has now surpassed 22. Oh, because now it's the second. 22 million viewers domestically, up nearly 5 times from its premiere night audience. Wow, that's impressive. So too, Last of Us tallied 5.7 million viewers across HBO Max and linear telecast in the U.S. Sunday night based on Nielsen first-party data, adding more than 1 million viewers versus the series premiere. We already talked about the fact that that's a 22% jump. That's huge, but yeah, cool. That's really, really awesome. If you haven't watched it yet, you really should. I think, it was here that we were gonna, here it is. So this is what the thumbnail was for today. Checking chat. I haven't watched Black Adam yet, so Derpy, I have heard that it's a mix. It's not terrible, but it's also not great. So it sounds like you kind of confer with that sentiment. Yeah, that's roughly where you're at with it. Let's get into the Titans. Delays suck. Not a fan of the delays. Oops, wrong window. Hello. Okay, there we go. Titans and Doom Patrol will be ending with their 4th seasons. All right. So, again, according to CosmicBook.news, and that's all she wrote for both Titans and Doom Patrol, as both shows are ending with season 4 on HBO Max. This was the headline for the episode today. We have a lot of rumor stuff that we're going to get to that has come out over the last 2 days since the regular episode went up. So we will touch on all of that in a minute, because we've got some Ant-Man, Quantumania, Kang Dynasty, Fantastic Four rumors to address, and Venom. I just found a new source that actually was a source for another source that I've been using. So we will be talking about Venom 3 momentarily as well. But yeah. So each of the shows recently completed the first half of Season 4, so following the second half airing on HBO Max, that will be the last. Quote, while these will be final seasons of Titans and Doom Patrol, we are very proud of these series and excited for fans to see their climactic endings. At least they're planning the ending. There's silver linings, I guess. An HBO Max spokesperson filled in deadline. Quote, we are grateful to Berlanti Productions and Warner Brothers Television for making such thrilling, action-packed, heartfelt series. Thank Titans showrunner Greg Walker, executive producer Greg Berlanti, Akiva Goldsman, Sarah Schechter, Jeff Johns, Richard Hatem, and the team at Weed Road Pictures. For Doom Patrol, we celebrate showrunner Jeremy Carver, executive producers Greg Berlanti, Sarah Schechter, Jeff Johns, Chris Dingus, and Tamara Beecher Wilkinson. For 4 seasons, fans have fallen in love with Titans and Doom Patrol, investing their trials, tribulations, and legendary battles, saving the world time and time again. I'm immensely proud of our gifted cast, crew, and writing staff. Where's the word? There we go. All right, so we got James Gunn down here at the bottom. All right. Couldn't ask for better partners. Berlanti Productions, Warner Brothers Television, HBO Max in the beginning. Jeff Johns, Keith Goldsman. I'm incredibly grateful for their unyielding trust throughout this process. Lastly, I have to thank our incredible fans for their continued support, engagement, and passionate community they've built around our show. We have 6 episodes left to unleash upon the world, and we hope to give our beloved characters the creative closure we all know they deserve. This is just, this is so hollow, it feels like. News of the cancellation follows James Gunn and Peter Safran taking over, and recently Gunn said he would be making announcements soon regarding the future, which he has not yet still. James Gunn replied to a fan blaming him for the cancellation, offering that the shows were canceled before he came on board. Then why didn't they make the announcement before he came on board? Why are they just now telling us that season 4 will be the end? Quote James Gunn's tweet: "The decision to end the series precedes us, but I certainly wish the best for the talented group of creators, actors, and the rest of the crew that produced both shows." It sounds like Berlanti is just potentially just getting out of the superhero game for a little while, because all of his shows on the CW and now on HBO Max are coming to an end. So that just seems, I don't know. I don't know why he would want to get out. Uh-oh, did Derpy leave? Derpy. Whatever. All right, so continuing on. Unfortunately, I think Derpy might have left. The Flash also ending with Season 9. Stargirl has been axed, of course. Legends of Tomorrow and Batwoman have been canceled, and the fate of Superman and Lois remains to be seen. I don't think that's a Berlanti-verse show, though. I don't think Berlanti has anything to do with Superman and Lois. As does the additional seasons of new Gotham Knights series on the CW. I'm honestly very surprised that's even coming out. Matt Reeves is still developing his Batman projects, including Penguin, Gunn. Again, these are Matt Reeves' projects, not Greg Berlanti. Gunn is said to be filming Peacemaker Season 2 soon. Titans and Doom Patrol, part of the short-lived DC Universe streaming service that also included Swamp Thing, Stargirl, Young Justice, and Harley Quinn. Producer Greg Berlanti and his production group are sticking with Warner Brothers Discovery as they recently signed a massive new exclusive 4-year production deal. $300 million, as much as $400 million over 6 years. Interesting. So Berlanti, I mean, it's just because he's getting out of the superhero business doesn't mean he's getting out of the television business, because he's been a producer for years and years. But I really think all of the Berlanti verse, all of the Arrowverse, if you will, anything that Berlanti Productions was producing that was superhero related, I think it's all dead, because the only thing that I'm not 100% certain about is Superman and Lois, and I'm about 80% sure that is not a Greg Berlanti produced production. So yeah, very interesting. Let's continue on. I think that was everything that we wanted to get to here. Jeremy Renner's home, Harley Quinn. If you haven't watched that trailer, go do it. Yeah, so let's start with, we have rumors. Where are you? There's rumor about Fantastic Four casting. We've talked previously about the fact that they want to bring in Ryan Gosling. Come on, meow. No. Yeah, so Ryan Gosling was previously rumored to be coming in as Dr. Doom. Now the big rumor is that they're looking at him for Mr. Fantastic, or just somebody on the Fantastic Four. I think he would be better as Johnny Blaze, and I think we should get a more solid Mr. Fantastic. I don't see where it went, though. G-Bus, what's going on? Eternals. Ah, hell, I missed it. But either way, Mr. Fantastic, they're looking at Ryan Gosling apparently to play Mr. Fantastic, and I think that is interesting. I still think if you're going to do Gosling, Gosling is better suited for a side character when it comes to stuff like this. He's got the acting chops to... Sorry, message coming through. He's got the acting chops to do anything. I just feel like he's better suited for Johnny Blaze. Oh. Okay, so that is the first rumor, and then I found this before. Yeah, that's gonna really bug me that I can't find it again. But we have Covenant of Chaos to talk about, but let's talk about the Venom stuff first. This is a different source. So apparently, if I can find the beginning of this, we have Venom is going to be starting with... This is talking about Covenant of Chaos. I don't know whether the... Whatever, we'll just go here. So Venom 3, let's just do that way. Venom 3 is going to be set in the same world as Madam Web and is the story of Eddie and Venom hunting for Peter Parker, find out that he's a five-year-old child in their universe and struggles with knowing they need to take down Peter for their future for some reason, but begin to start seeing Peter as a son-like figure. And then this goes on to say... Scene of Venom taking Peter to a museum where he exposes Peter to spiders but ends up making Peter fall ill, and Eddie rushes him to the hospital. Eddie begins to realize how innocent Peter is, and that happens there in the wrong for capturing him. So, again, new source for rumors. This is the first time, it's a source of a source, and so this is the first time I'm actually using this source. So I don't know how reliable this person is when it comes to new stuff, but that's an interesting thought, right? So somehow we get Venom back into the Sony universe, and he's somehow becoming a quasi-father figure for Peter Parker in the Sony universe, but Peter Parker's much younger in this universe. It's a very strange... And also, why does Venom have to take out Peter in order to survive in the future? That seems rather not kosher. There's nothing so far that's established this as a necessity for the character, so it just kind of seems out of left field. I don't know what to make of that. If anybody in chat wants to chime in on that one, I definitely would be down to hear some theories. But the other thing that this source is talking about is Covenant of Chaos, a significant amount of Covenant of Chaos. Agatha, Covenant of Chaos. Where's the beginning of this thread? Because definitely talking about... I don't know about the rat. It's going to be... I was down here, wasn't it? Yeah. So Tommy Speed. So we have Miles Gutierrez Riley will be playing Scarlet Witch's son. This is according to Murphy's Multiverse. We'll be playing Scarlet Witch's son and Wiccan's love interest, Hulkling. So Wiccan is going to be in Coven of Chaos, apparently. And this is also implying that Speed is going to be there too. But this insider, if you will, this person who claims to have read scripts for the series, or shooting scripts at the very least, says that Tommy doesn't appear in episodes 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, and 9. Again, right here it says, I've seen principal photography script and call sheets. So assuming he's not in the series, Hulkling Teddy is not in this, but says that Hulkling will be a focus somehow of Armor Wars for reasons with Rhodey, as played by Don Cheadle. And says over the next few months all of this information will be confirmed. Let's see about that. All right, so then this thread right here, continuing along with Coven of Chaos, here is all this person knows about Coven of Chaos. This is set immediately after the events of Multiverse Madness, where Wanda's death has unshackled the hold she had on Agatha. So that makes at least a little bit of sense. Agatha originally attempts to hide, but quickly discovers Westview is rallying behind her as a hero. Here's where the show really deviates from the source material. She has an adopted son, and no, not Nicholas Scratch, but a boy played by Joe Locke, and they do not realize his reincarnation of mythical figure prophecy of Wiccan. Agatha is his mother. So Billy already has a boyfriend. Billy as in Speed, I believe. When the show begins, and they will be connected romantically throughout the entire series because he's revealed to be working for Aubrey Plaza in episode 7 and had planned his encounter with the vulnerable Billy who had just come out. Wanda makes a surprise return in episode 9, revealing that she did not die after Multiverse of Madness, but was merely depowered, and teams up with Agatha to take down the Coven, as they both find common ground as a mother figure to Billy. Evan Peters also appears in the series as an awakened Ralph Bohner. Actually is not Ralph Bohner. No, really? Mephisto appears in the okay, so this is where we're going a little bit off the rails, because Mephisto was the supposed villain the entire time in WandaVision, and that didn't turn out very well. So Mephisto appears in the finale, but is not the focus of the series. His story continues elsewhere. His appearance is merely a cameo with the intention of recruiting Wanda and restoring her powers, who at the last second chooses Agatha and Billy, not Mephisto, and she has no powers. Agatha is not an anti-hero or villain in this story. She's actually deemed a hero by many. This is a very swift turn to the, quote, good side, and she creates a new outfit for herself, and it's a purple silver, more of a fitted outfit than a dress, no shoulder pieces. There's an episode where her, quote, hero reputation inflates her ego, and she loses sight of Billy, who is then captured by the Coven at the end of episode 7 because she fails to protect Billy from the dangers of the world. Yeah, we already read that part. I don't know if this information is out already, but Armor Wars is about preventing Stark technology from being weaponized in the midst of the Skrull-Kree war to carry on Tony's wishes. So that actually plays into the rumors that are coming out about Ant-Man being as, or Fantastic Four rather, the other rumors coming out about Fantastic Four of the Fantastic Four are supposedly the Baxter Building. They purchase Avengers Tower, turn it into the Baxter Building, and I'm trying to go from memory for this. They purchase Avengers Tower, turn it into the Baxter Building, and somehow, because they're in the Avengers Tower, Reed Richards gets control over Stark Tech, which is how they get time travel, and so that sends them back into the 60s for a year. And I don't know why the significance of that time frame, but they're very, like, everything that's hinting at these rumors is saying that they're gone for only a year back in the 60s. Why a year? Why the 60s? Actually, I think this was the source that has the answer for some of that, and the answer that he sent out was... Oh, come on, man. Twitter is so hard to navigate. There, that's his answer. But because this person was asking why the 60s, and this was the response, even though for whatever reason they have their stuff limited. But yeah, so going to the 60s, Venom is a Spider-Man villain. He's probably trying to get killed in the future by Peter. Oh, also hi. Oh, no worries. Thank you very much for contributing, Chris. But yeah, yes, I know Venom is a Spider-Man villain, but in the Sony Spider-less universe, it's just a weird switch because he has no relationship with Spider-Man. So why would he be trying to kill Spider-Man? A. B, he doesn't know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, at least as far as I remember from all of the movies that we've seen so far. So there's no reason for him to connect that. These quote-unquote leaks just seem very weak because there's not a whole lot of connective tissue there. There's not a whole lot of reason to believe that certain things are actually going to turn out the way these leaks are saying. So yes, I do appreciate that would be a great way to do it, but none of those relationships have been established in the movies. Because Sony has decided to kind of just go off the rails for these movies. All right, so back to the Armor Wars and Agatha Covenant of Chaos. So Stark Tech from being weaponized in the midst of the Skreek Kroll War, carry on Tony's wishes, and Tech not again be involved in weapons destruction of any species. The, quote, Coven and Agatha are seemingly bad, but in Episode 8, we actually discover that they're good people with good intentions because they do not want to harness the power of Wiccan, they want to worship him. Episode 8 is the musical episode, and Patty Lupone is the leader of the Coven. You get away from that cluster. This is supposed to be a twist, quote-unquote, because, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, come on, Twitter, don't be a jerk. Because they're under the assumption the entire time that the Coven are out to take down Agatha and Billy. The real danger is in Aubrey Plaza, who is a rogue witch. Coven is a bit of a multiverse of madness itself, but not with Marvel cameos, with celebrity cameos. The biggest of which is a famous Disney star who is still popular today. In the production script, it's not shown who plays them, but it's visible in the call sheets. Way to be super vague with your very detailed stuff there, Bod. The show ends with Agatha, Wanda, and Billy together after Billy's turn down the Coven's offer of being their leader, but they claim that they will always stand by him. The screenplay ends with the three potentially looking for Billy's brother in their next quest, bold and underlined. So Quest being Vision Quest, which is the other series that we already know we're getting. So so after this, Wanda will be powerless because that doesn't make any sense. In Vision Quest, she starts to regain her powers and discovers that so even more rumors with Vision Quest. Repressed due to trauma and fear of destruction. She is really wounded emotionally and strengthened. Blah, 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 blah. All right. I think... there's more to this. Show ends with Agatha. Oh, we already got that. And then we get a Red Hulk image for some reason. Agnes of Westview, huh? This is not a reference to Mayor of Easttown. Agnes of Westview is just a title given to Agatha by the residents after they begin to worship her. I mean, he's correcting Grace Randolph, so I mean, there's at least some confidence in what this guy is saying, or person, I guess, is saying. The idea that Tommy will model his hair after accepting his superpowered family around Vision's current color. You know, he's part of the Avengers, and Wanda, Agatha, and Billy are not meant to be focal point of this story. Vision is actually going to be the guiding voice for the young... Oh, interesting. So now we're playing into Young Avengers, which is what the rumor was supposed to be, the rumored post-credit scene for... Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is supposed to hint at the Young Avengers. So if that's the case, this is all starting to kind of come together, right? So we got Covenant of Chaos feeding into Vision Quest, also feeding into Armor Wars, also feeding into Young Avengers. We have Ant-Man Quantumania feeding into Young Avengers and Kang Dynasty. The other big rumor here is that every movie until we get to Kang Dynasty is going to deal with somehow, in some way, albeit very probably some of them will turn into cameo appearances by Kang, but they will all be dealing to some degree with a variant of Kang, hence the Kang Dynasty, and then we're going to see all these incursions happening in the timeline in that Kang Dynasty movie. So yeah, pretty intricate. I feel like we might be making some connections here, guys. Set pics of Covenant Chaos got leaked. Can you provide context as to what was happening when we saw Agatha and Billy in Westview Mall? There's a whole thing here. So he's a Scarlet Witch fanboy. I know it's weird, but it's supposed to be poetic in the screenplay. In the first few episodes, Agatha trying to make amends with her son. Don't forget, this stage, no one is aware that he is Wiccan or he is related to Wanda. He's not completely sweet boy from the comics. He's a bit of a rebellious spirit. Tricks the mall, actually resulting in him getting into legal trouble, which Agatha gets him out of using her fame. Episode 2, not the premiere. Interesting. And then another thread here dealing with all of this. Barely talking about Tommy's. He's sidelined because he doesn't have a love interest like Hulkling. He isn't in Covenant Chaos, but he is the focal point of Vision Quest. I believe Billy is meant to appear in that series, but as supporting character towards the end. Vision Quest is a story behind Vision's quest to build together his new Young Avengers team. So again, kind of tying in with all of the other rumors that are going on here. The crew behind Covenant Chaos are going to be involved with Vision Quest is next in their cards. Consider Vision Quest essentially Season 3 of WandaVision, because the implication here is that Covenant of Chaos is Season 2, while simultaneously serving as a prequel to the Young Avengers. Vision, Billy, and Tommy will be Young Avenger mainstays. All the Vision Quest plot detail is just what I've been told from my source, who has provided screenplays, almost average, blah, blah, blah. Have no concrete scripts for Vision Quest because there haven't been any written. It's a long, long way away. True, the Kate Bishop appearance in Thunderbolts. Nothing about this, but that's not... Kate and Clint will appear in Vision Quest. See, some of this stuff is a little too convenient because, like, yes, they're doing a very intricate situation with the storytelling in Marvel, but I don't... At least up until this point, it has not been this intricate. We have not had this much connective tissue. So what he's implying here is that we will see Kate and Clint Bishop in Vision Quest because we need to see Hawkeye for some reason. That doesn't really make much sense. Part of the family now alongside Wanda and Billy at the end of Covenant of Chaos. Blah, 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 blah. There was another thread that I wanted to get to. Oh, this one right here. So, Billy Kaplan, Agatha would know something to do with Wanda because they have the same name, right? So his response to this is, in the first 2 episodes, his name is Nicholas. At the end of episode 3, we find out his birth name was Billy Kaplan. As he seeks out his biological parents and his boyfriend, meant to be a twist, Agatha doesn't make the connection to Wanda's son being named Billy, though. It's not well explained, but Tommy and Billy are basically reincarnations of 2 mythical beings, and they both reside in New Jersey. Yes, including Tommy, which Wanda pulled their energy into creating down in Westview. Interesting. So, if this is to be believed, Wanda did somehow end up creating her children in the real world, not just in Westview. And also, they're the reincarnations of 2, so that's how they're getting around the mutant thing. So we still haven't outright seen mutants yet in the MCU, which is really funny that they're still dancing around it. Tommy and Billy are now mythical beings, not mutants. They're not, quote, technically reincarnations per se. I'd argue the kids in WandaVision were the reincarnations of these 2 boys. That's basically all that is explained about their existence, not really questions later in the series in Billy's case. We just know he's related to Wanda because Wanda says so based off of her readings of the Demiurge along Mephisto's monologue, and everyone kind of just goes along with it. Sounds like a Marvel thing. Agatha's primary concern by the finale for Billy, and no longer fame or being a hero. Episode 2 ends in a party scene held with the mayor of Westview, which is attended by residents, and they set up a meet and greet with Agatha, where she outfits her new outfit. Billy and his boyfriend watch from afar, and he says he's going to find his parents. I think the intention here is the audience thinks Billy is going to search for Wanda and Vision, but we end up meeting his biological parents instead, and he learns more about his roots. Says goodbye to them in the end of the episode. We return back to West. Very weird. Oh, I really don't think... I think some of this might be close to legit. Close to. I just don't... I don't see it, man. I don't see it. I don't see how this is 100% the way things are going to go. It doesn't make any freaking sense. So, yeah. Where are we going next? We are going to... What time is it? 8 o'clock. It's been a half an hour. Let's go to... We Got This Covered, because that's really the only thing I use We Got This Covered for anymore is for the live streams. Wednesday, removing Percy Hines White is perfect excuse to explore... Wait, what? Qua? Why are they removing the dude? What's going on here? Okay. That's not what I wanted. What? I don't understand what's going on here. Oh, okay. Okay. So just started out with Justin Roiland. I didn't see the rest of it. All right. So Rick and Morty creator Justin Roiland appears to be effectively blacklisted for his alleged domestic abuse. Netflix appears to be reluctant to part ways or announce the end of their association with Wednesday's Percy Hines White, despite the heavy cloud of misconduct accusations that have been hanging over him for several weeks now. And while his fate may be unknown at this point, perhaps our removal might allow for many of the show's fans to have their one true pairing fully seen on screen. Barring a sweeping exoneration, it's fairly likely, though not impossible, that Netflix will cut ties with White. I don't think I know which kid this is. Let's click the link and see what happens. Stop it. Okay, so this guy. Huh. For fans of Wednesday, last week ended up being a true nightmare, to say the least, as Twitter blew up multiple allegations, in addition to other accusations against series star Percy Hines White. But while Cancel Percy became a trending topic on social media as fans demand the actor removed from the show, the only response it managed to elicit was White disabling comments on his Instagram. Netflix, those associated with the series, and White himself have kept mum on the issue. While this is understandably a sensitive matter, with proper handling... Huh. Alright. Highly unfortunate. What else you got for me there? We got this covered. Let's see. Gina Carano attempts to gloss over what? Oh, good lord. Come on now. I thought we were over this. So, according to We Got This Covered, Gina Carano's latest post on Twitter... Oh, thank you. Jackfruit just appeared on my desk because my girlfriend is a rock star. Gina Carano's latest post on Twitter has left the public with a bitter aftertaste as former Mandalorian actress acknowledges International Holocaust Remembrance Day, nigh on the one-year anniversary of the anti-Semitic comments that got her fired from Disney. Please, please tell me how the thing that she said was anti-Semitic at all. What she said had absolutely nothing to do with Jewish people directly. And the picture that she shared showed a man who was not participating in Nazi activities. Therefore, he was persecuted and turned into something other than human. And that was the point she was trying to make. So if anything, it was pro-Jew. Oh my God. Okay. In her post, Gina Carano shared a screenshot of a quote from Anne Frank's Diary of a Young Girl, which extols the goodness of humanity, the willingness to see through dark times, and the hope for a brighter future. With it, Carano included the hashtag International Holocaust Remembrance Day. Unlike Anne Frank, Carano is remembered for espousing fear-mongering lies about COVID-19 vaccine. What did she ever say that was a lie? Honestly. Making a mockery of pandemic protocol. We know that she was right if she was mocking pandemic protocol, because everyone who has been vindicated at this point, because everything we now know here living in the future is that 98% of pandemic protocols were not helpful. Compare her conspiracy theory right-wing opinions to the mass genocide of millions of Jewish people. Include a transcript of those words so as not to have them buried under further screenshots, hashtags, or any other attempts to brush them under the rug. Oh, it did. That is not what I remember reading, honestly. Beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. That is true. I mean, they were also beat by Nazi soldiers in the end, but not at the beginning. Because history is edited, and most people today don't realize that to get to the point where those soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being as such. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? That's what it was. She didn't mention Republicans or conservatives or anything. That was the point she was making. Sorry, I misremembered it, and I apologize. I am henceforth corrected, but the overall point I was trying to make still stands, in that she was just trying to stop the culture of othering people because they have different beliefs. She said nothing about conservatives. She said nothing about Republicans. So when right-wing opinions to mass genocide, oh my God. Okay. Her attempt to gloss over this with a screenshot of Anne Frank's non-apology. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, long walk, short pier. Figure it out. Trump inexplicably attacked Fox News host Jessica Tarlow. Let's go to movies. Let's try that. Nothing. Whole lot of nothing. Yeah, really not much going on here. This is lame. Apparently this is not as busy of a week as I anticipated for news. Okay, let's go to Bounding. There's bound to be something good there. See what I did there? Bounding into comics. Coronavirus reveals new generation. Let's check out some designs for the new. We talked about this in the most recent episode, but we did not actually see the new Turtles. Sweet. This actually looks pretty cool. Lost years. Here we go. Look at this. The last Ronin verse, the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's cool. Can we get it bigger? Let's get it bigger. Open picture in new tab. Haha, look at that. And then we can even zoom in, I bet. Ha ha ha. Oops. You don't like it? I think it looks cool. I think that's why it looks cool. I like the variants. I feel like no, it's not Raph. It's not the original one. The last Ronin. So everyone's dead, and these are 4 new turtles that Mikey is training. Yeah. No, I think that's really cool looking because I feel like one of the only nitpicky things I could ever say about Ninja Turtles is that the fact that they're all so similar feels like a disservice in a way. Huh? Because they're all exactly the same in the original comic. I don't hate it. Like I said, it's super nitpicky, but having them all the same kind of doesn't really play to any of their strengths. You can't, there's physical variance, I think, is better visually for a visual medium of storytelling. Ooh. This jackfruit pod is not cooperating. Alright, let's get back to the news. As soon as I get done with that. Ooh, boy. Okay. So that's pretty awesome. Oh, I really like that. That's cool. Mikey, Leo, Raph, no, that's Donnie. Mikey, Donnie, Leo, Raph. There we go. So cool. Yeah, Last Ronin should be one that everyone's reading as well. Okay, continuing on. Wow, really not even Bounding has much to talk about right now. House Party 2023. LeBron James produces one of the worst comedies ever. 0 out of 10. Oof, harsh. Dragon Age, Dreadwolf. Yeah, nothing, man. All right, let's go check out some music news, shall we? Let's go to Blabbermouth. Twisted Sister reunites. Paul Stanley. Nope. Jeff Scott Soto. Nope. Hanoi Rocks. Taipei, Houston. Job for a Cowboy. Here we go. I knew we'd find something eventually, guys. All right. Arizona Extreme Metalers, A Job for a Cowboy, have announced their first performances since 2016. Appearance at this year's edition of Blue Ridge Rock Festival. That's cool. I almost wish I lived closer so I could go, but Blue Ridge organizers broke the news. Job for a Cowboy's participation in the event social media post earlier today. They wrote, reuniting for their only performance for the foreseeable future, deathcore powerhouse Job for a Cowboy returns to the stage for the first time in 7 years. A name synonymous with heavy music, Job for a Cowboy was a constant on Rockstar Energy Drink Mayhem Fest, the Summer Slaughter Tour, Download Festival, Walk-In, Open Air, and more, becoming one of the largest torchbearers of heavy metal in the U.S. The band is rumored to be releasing their first album in 9 years in 2023. Experience this monumental, rare opportunity to see Job for a Cowboy once more at Blue Ridge 2023. earlier this year has revealed Jobber Cowboy was putting the finishing touches on its long-awaited 5th studio album, produced by none other than Jason Sukoff, who has previously worked with Trivium, August Burns Red, Black Dahlia Murder, All That Remains, Whitechapel, Devil Driver, all blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's awesome. That's really cool. Super stoked to see those guys getting out there again. STP releases Gordon Lightfoot covers. Michael Sweet would certainly pray about hypothetical King Diamond collaboration. Lordy announces more Scream Writers Guild album details. Oh, interesting. I feel like that's... Let's read it before we jump to conclusions, but it sounds like they're kind of treading on Ice Nine Kills leftovers here. Scream Writers Guild, right? To play on a movie terminology for horror effect. Finnish hard rock monsters Lordy will release their 18th studio album, Scream Writers Guild, on March 31st via their new label Home Atomic Fire Records. The LP title, a Lordy-fied play on words, oh good lord, is a reference to the Screenwriters Guild, an association of Hollywood screenplay writers, 1920s to 1950s, yet there's no doubt that the Lordy's musical version is much louder and fiercer. The record itself isn't a real concept album, but obviously plays with the overall cinematic theme, says Lordy leader Mr. Lordy. News of the release is accompanied by the unveiling of the track Lucifer Prime Evil, alongside lyric video drawn by Carly and scripted and edited by mastermind Mr. Lordy himself. Mr. Lordy explains, this is the first chance for the fans to hear our new guitar player, Cone, in action on a record. He's still doing pretty lengthy guitar solos on the track, with Hella backing him up on the keyboard harmonies here and there. Also, very first time in Lordy's history that you can actually hear the whole band sing background vocals on this album. Story-wise, Lucifer Prime Evil gives quite a good example of the themes and lyrical content that await you on the record. It's a horror story, like an eerie horror movie theme song. Yeah, this really sounds like they're just rehashing the idea Ice Nine Kills had 5 years ago. Although this song isn't really based on any particular horror movie, the conceptual theme of what to expect from the whole album should come across pretty clear. Scream Writers Guild was produced by Mr. Lordy, Mana, and Jane Halmprona as executive producers. Ika Herkman, good lord, these Scandinavian names, man. Took care of mixing, and Paul Sastan. Yeah, I got nothing on that one either. I apologize. Mastered the record. Artwork's also designed by Mr. Lordy himself and was made by the director of the band's vision since the early 90s. All right, so let's see if we can. We have Dead Again Jane, Nosferu's Horror Show, Unliving Picture Show, Inhumanoid, Thing in the Cage, Vampiro Fang Club, The Bride. So we got Frankenstein's Bride of Frankenstein, Dracula, Thing in the Cage, so probably Swamp Thing, Inhumanoid. I don't know about that one. Unliving Picture Show almost sounds like it could be Rocky Horror Picture Show. Like in Tropical Island. Oh my god. Scarecrow in the Castle of Draculov. Oh my lord, this is painful. Heaven Jeans. Okay, and then the end credits. Weird. I still honestly have never listened to Lordy, as strange as that may sound. Dave Navarro to sit out more Jane's Addiction shows. Miley Cruz, Tommy Lee guests on new blah blah blah. I'm looking for something specific because I heard that maybe Pantera was canceling shows, and so I wanted to touch on that, but I'm not seeing it here. Overkill shares new single. Atreyu unveils new single, Drowning. That's awesome. Never once shy away from wearing emotions on their sleeve. Prolific rockers. Ooh, that's a big word to describe Atreyu. I love Atreyu. I've seen Atreyu many, many times. don't know if I would call them prolific, though. Unleashed brand new single Drowning today. The track delivers massive breakdowns, catchy hooks, and soaring performances. The cathartic subject matter sees the group battling through individual struggles with depression and feeling overwhelmed by life itself, but ultimately finding healing from the honest expression of those feelings. Commenting on the meaning behind Drowning, Atreyu shares to the five of us the song is about antidepressants. The song is audio antidepressants. Oh, I can read. Much like everyone does, the five of us have experienced a wave of depression, anxiety, and fear in vastly different ways. The song is about feeling buried. We have found comfort in simply communicating those feelings with each other and hope you will arrive in a similar place while listening. This song is for all of us. That is why cathartic, yes. Prolific, no. But that is why I love Atreyu, because that is exactly why I listen to Atreyu. In contrast to its heavy message, Atreyu shares a perfectly jocular music video for Drowning that will have you running for the local pool to shake off those existential blues. Oh boy. Support a Baptized European track, both My Valentine and Ginger. Oh, that's cool. Baptized marks Trey's first album since the departure of Alex. Sad to say, but it is true. The LP showcased Trey's current lineup. Is this from Baptized? I don't remember. Let's see. I don't care that much. Twisted Sister performed live for the first time in more than 6 years. Avatar taps Hellstorm's Lizzie Hale for Violence No Matter What. She just did a war track, too. So very strange that she's doing all these guest spots. Swedish metalers Avatar have unleashed yet another track from their upcoming album, Dance Devil Dance, due out February 17th. I don't know why that. I feel like we should have talked about that in the most anticipated of 2023. Maybe we did and I just don't remember it, but either way. Distributed by 30 Tigers today, the band has shared the new song Violence No Matter What, a powerhouse duet with the inimitable Lizzie Hale of Hailstorm. Man, I got some stuff to listen to before we do the next episode. Because I love Avatar. Avatar is great. Hailstorm, not so much. But Avatar, fantastic. Alright. David Ellefson, Hailstorm, already come up with ideas. And a War Lima, blah, 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 blah. Limp Bizkit, Flyleaf, Papa Roach, Motionless in White among confirmed artists for this year's Bamboozle Festival. John Schaefer is continuing to cooperate with U.S. Capitol riot investigators. Next status report due in March. Come on now, where are you? 69 Eyes, Death Stars, Yes Keyboardist, Def Leppard, Nita Strauss, there we go. Pantera, oh, it's a single show. All right, so Pantera concert in Vienna canceled. Pantera's concert in Austria has this spring has been canceled following an outcry over singer Philip Anselmo's previous racist remarks. Oh boy, the reformed band featuring Pantera's surviving members Anselmo and Rex Brown, along with guitarist Zach Wilde and drummer Charlie Benante, was scheduled to appear in Gasometer in Vienna on May 31st as part of its Spring-Summer 2023 European tour. However, earlier today, the 25th, so Wednesday, Barracuda Music and Mind Over Matter Music released a statement on social media saying that the show was scrapped. All tickets can be returned where they were purchased, the promoters wrote. Thank you for your understanding. Barracuda Music and Mind Over Matter Music did not offer an explanation for the cancellation. But the majority of the fans commenting on the promoter's Facebook page assumed that the move was made for the same reason Pantera's appearance at Rock AM Ring and Rock IM Park festivals in Germany were called off earlier this week. So that's 3 Germany dates that have been canceled. 2 of them were supposed to have happened last week, and 1 of them was supposed to have happened later this year. Wow. Most of the backlash that led to the German concert cancellation stemmed from the fact that Anselmo made a Nazi-style salute when he performed at the January 2016 Dime Bash event at the Lucky Strike Live in Hollywood. Oh my God, he was drunk, and Yeah, I guess he did also appear to say white power when he made the gesture. This is true. But yeah, I was just going to say, he definitely still stands by the fact that he was trying to make a joke. I think, I could be misremembering this, but I very much think that he was trying to, or he claimed at the time, I guess, that he was trying to call out somebody in the crowd who he believed was an actual white supremacist type. And so that's why he was joking. He was trying to get this person to do it back to him. So yeah, something along those lines. It's very thin. Like, I would not be surprised if Phil is one of those guys that casually uses the N-word. It doesn't, I don't mean it like that, would be the justification. It's Phil Anselmo. He's a unique breed. I guess we'll just leave it at that. Additional criticism with regard to the fact that Rock am Ring takes place in Nuremberg, known as English form as Nuremberg, where Hitler supporters held a series of mass parties, rallied in 33 and through 38, calling Rock am Ring Rock Am Park. Organizers to cancel Pantera's appearance at the festival's German Green Party said in the Nuremberg City Council that Anselmo repeatedly and deliberately made Nazi gestures and yelled racist slogans. Now that is unsubstantiated slander, I feel like. Spokeswoman for the Greens Against Racism and Right-Wing Extremism added that, quote, the former Nazi Party premises, unquote, were being, quote, deliberately misused for the staging and reproduction of racist and inhuman ideology. What? Green Party rep told Germany's Stern magazine that Anselmo's apology for his outburst was not credible enough, and that hosting the band on the former rally grounds clearly exceeds the limits of what is bearable. What? Really? I guess they are really sensitive about that stuff over there, which kind of makes sense. We are relieved about the organizers' decision not to offer the band Pantera a stage. Their singer Phil Anselmo has repeatedly attracted attention with anti-Semitic and racist incidents. Wow. Wrote in a statement in the Green Party's website. Therefore, the performance was unimaginable for us, especially on the former party rally grounds. Oh my goodness. This is insane. This is absolutely ridiculous. Again, Phil Anselmo definitely has made some very questionable choices in the past. Okay. I guess in the days following the Dime Bash incident, Rob Flynn from Machine Head, who played Pantera's songs with Anselmo at the event, released an 11-minute response video in which he denounced Anselmo as a big bully and a racist. I vaguely remember that happening, but I also am not Rob Flynn's biggest fan, so that would explain that. Concluded by saying that he would never play another Pantera song again. I wonder how that's stood up, because I feel like there's a lot of overlap with his crowd and the Pantera crowd. Anthrax's Scott Ian, who is Jewish, released a statement on his official website saying Phillips' actions were vile and invited Anselmo to make a donation to the Simon Weissenhall Center. Former Pantera drummer Vinnie Paul Abbott, who hadn't spoken to Anselmo since the band split in 2003, was dismissive when asked for a comment in the singer's salute. I can't speak for him, Vinnie said in 2016 interview. He's done a lot of things that tarnished the image of what Pantera was back then, and what it stood for and what it was all about. And it's sad. In 17, Anselmo blasted false journalism in the metal community for suggesting he was a racist because of his actions. Weeks after Dime Bash incident, Anselmo's Down project canceled a number of shows, including France's Hellfest, Dutch Festival For the Rock, and UK's Download. The singer wrote an open letter to the Hellfest organizers in which he said it was not the right time for Down to tour. He revealed that he was suffering from recurring knee injury and that he needed rehabilitation. Okay, well, What a weird story, man. What a weird story. That blows my mind. Upcoming Seven Dust album, one of the best records we've done in a while. Well, one of the only records you've done in a while, because it's been a minute since we've heard from you guys. Tribulation, Obituary, 69 Eyes. We've already passed all of this because we were looking for the Panteras. Foo Fighters. Oh, Foo Fighters will step in for Pantera at the Rock AM Ring and Rock IM Park. So that's cool. That's not exactly a one-for-one swap out, but it's still something, though. Mike Portnoy confirms he is slightly involved in Dream Theater's recently launched Lost Not Forgotten Archives. Bruce Dickinson, Maynard James Keenan, Nikki Sixx, Carmine Apice, Paul Crook. Oh my. Roses. No thanks. Coheed and Cambria announced a new tour. Avatar. All right. Oh, with Orbit Culture. Oh, man. I'm spending so much money on concert tickets. We're going to check this out. Swedish metalers Avatar will embark on a U.S. tour this spring with Veil of Maya and Orbit Culture. Orbit Culture is a great new band. You should check them out. Kick off April 28th, Omaha, Nebraska. Conclude May 28th in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Time to demolish some good old American asphalt again, says the band. Yes, it is, guys. Yes, it is. Oh, Denver, Utah. That's a decent sized tour they got going on there. Dance Devil Dance. So it'll be in support of the record. The record is coming out. Where the hell are you? February 17th. So we still got 2 weeks before, or 2.5 weeks or so before the release of the new record. That's really cool. Orbit Culture. Orbit Culture. Oh, I hate this. Learn to write better code, people. What is that? David Ellison. Nope. We left off with Avatar. There we go. Code your websites better. Anthrax is working on 11 musical arrangements for next studio album. Okay. I think we're at a decent breaking point so that I can experiment with a couple of things. Disturb, new tour. Corey Taylor, yeah. And now we're in the ground that we covered in the most recent episode of the regular news. All right, so for those of you who are going to be sticking around for the second half of this, again, I cannot guarantee that we will get into the gaming elements, but if you are sticking around, thank you very much. If you are listening to the news in post, i.e. on Nerdy Legion, or maybe you're watching the re-up on Blackline Entertainment or something along those lines, then I am sorry. This is where your video for the evening ends. Thank you very much for joining me in post. Thank you again, those of you who are going to be leaving from chat for because you don't like to stick around for the gaming portions, all of that jazz. I appreciate you guys either way. For the regular episode next week, again, that will be Wednesday, and next week we are not. I gotta pull up the calendar because I don't remember. Yeah. Next week, we will not be doing a live episode. We will only be doing the regular Wednesday episode because I got some dancing to go do with the lady friend, all right? So, yeah. But, yeah, no live show next week, just your regular show, and maybe I will find the time, maybe, to get one of the other videos that's sitting in the wings waiting to be finished, and then, you won't be so long without seeing my pretty face. Either way, thank you very much, nerds. We're taking a break. For those of you sticking around, it'll be about 10 to 15 minutes, and we will be back with some gaming content. Let's change the... Where are we going? We're going to this one? Yeah, let's go to this one. Transition. Thank you very much, nerds. We'll see you in the next one. Before I go, always remember, if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here. YouTube.com/generally nerdy. Go do the things. I love your faces. We'll see the rest of you in just a minute.